Good morning, students. I just wanted to also provide some verbal explanation on the directions for the final exam because I know we went through things pretty quickly in class on Wednesday. So again, I emailed out the take-home final exam directions to you yesterday, and I also put them on Blackboard. Sorry, that was the wrong course. Underneath where I have had the syllabus and your peer eval form is the take-home final exam, so that you can click on that and download it directly from Blackboard if you need to, if you're having issues with the email. I created it on one page, front to back, so that if you wanted to print it for reference, it would fit on one page. The answers should be in APA format, meaning double space, Times New Roman, 12-point font, 1-inch margins. So someone did ask, could they use this document that I emailed and just fill in the answers? Yes, you can, but please change it to double spaced and 1-inch margins if you do. I put smaller 1/2-inch margins just to be able to fit it on one page front to back for ease of printing. But I like the 1-inch margins, number one, because it is correct APA format, but number two, it gives me places to write feedback and comments. It should be in APA format as far as academic quality and style of writing too, so correct grammar and don't use slang or idioms, things like that. And you also need to cite your sources and include a reference page for those sources. But again, if you're citing class discussions or using notes from class, you may use the date of the class or the week number in your citation. So in your citation, you could just put Yoakum for the instructor and then, week 2 or class, 11, 14, whatever it was. And then on the references page, just have Yoakum 2017 and then class notes with the date or the week number. And then when citing a written source, like one of the textbooks or your book you read for your book club or an article or something from the resources in Blackboard, please include the page number where you got the information, even if it's not a direct quote. So typically in APA, you only include the page number if it's a direct quote. But for this, I really want to see where you're pulling everything from for your answers. So please put the page number for any written source. The other thing that I wanted to further explain or clarify was some of you are going to see this number 32 questions and feel overwhelmed by the amount of answers you need to provide and the length of the answers. However, I want to reassure you that these answers are meant to be short answers or very brief essay, not long essay, not long pages or papers, except of course for your chart notes and the end a 1 to 2 page short post-semester reflection paper. So for example, what I mean is a lot of times I have define a concept and then describe a scenario or a situation and where a CCLS would utilize that concept or be involved in that situation. Or I have, define or discuss like 2 things you learn and describe how you plan to implement or utilize them. that skill or strategy or concept in your future practice as a child life specialist. So, for example, if this final exam was on play and the question was define parallel play and describe a scenario or situation where a CCLS might utilize parallel play with a patient. The definition can be a simple 1 or 2 sentence. Parallel play is when children play alongside each other with similar materials, but do not engage in cooperative play or interactive play. This is typically children around the age of 2 to 3 years old. They move from solitary play to parallel play in the next step of their play development. Child life specialists might utilize parallel play in an attempt to build rapport with a child who seems to be shy or nervous, or is exhibiting stranger anxiety. So instead of saying, well, if I was a child life specialist on an inpatient unit and it was my first time meeting a 4-year-old patient and I went into the room and they were playing with their Legos, but they wouldn't make eye contact with me and wouldn't engage with me, and I tried talking to them and they wouldn't answer. So I sat down next to them and started playing Legos just by myself next to them playing Legos, which is parallel play. And I did this until they started talking to me. And then when they talked to me, I engaged in more interactive play. And I used this to build rapport with this patient who was new to me and seemed to be shy and seemed to have stranger anxiety. So instead of saying all that, you can just say the overall type of situation or scenario that you would utilize it. I would use parallel play to build rapport with a patient that was not seeming to engage in conversation with me, or to build rapport with a new patient or a patient who was scared or seemed to be nervous or shy. You can describe it that way in 1 or 2 sentences. So I don't need a whole half-page essay. This is short answer, if that makes sense. Okay. Or for example, if the question was, define vicarious play and describe, give me an example of a type of patient in which a child life specialist would utilize vicarious play. So, your simple 1 or 2 sentences describing vicarious play as when you play for a child and they direct you in your next steps or your actions or your choices in play in an effort to give them as much control and choice in play as possible when they're not physically able to engage in play themselves, something like that. And then an example of patient and child life specialist would often use vicarious play with a patient with spinal muscular atrophy who has limited strength and mobility due to muscle weakness. There you go. Instead of, child life specialists might use this with a 3-year-old patient who has spinal muscular atrophy, and I would let the child, we would do a painting and I would let the child pick each color and, where to place the flower and where to place the sun, and let them pick what if I added a bird or not, and let them pick. You can just give me an overall short scenario or situation, an overall description. So hopefully that makes sense and makes this final seem less overwhelming and daunting. And again, if you have any questions as you're going along in the final, do not hesitate to reach out via email. Otherwise, I will see you all Wednesday for your child development final. And again, if you have questions about that as you're studying, please don't hesitate to email me. And then also, if you have not done so already, please complete your course evaluations. They close today. And we really value those and look at those to improve the courses, the program, or instruction and teaching methods. So please don't say, well, I'm never going to take 640 or 610 again, so I'm not really going to spend the time to do an eval because it's not going to matter to me. Well, we use your feedback not only to improve the content and structure of the course for the next time we're offering it, which again, yes, that doesn't apply to you. We also utilize themes to improve or change the structure and content of all future courses, and kind of instruction and teaching methods individually, especially in similar courses. So this is a seminar course 640. I won't be teaching a seminar course for you again, but Katie will. Leadership and internship prep is a seminar style course. So if there's certain feedback from this course that elicit themes that we can apply or make adjustments to the seminar course that Katie's teaching you in the future, we will. Similarly with 610 being an online course, if there's themes that are emerging or feedback that's emerging that we can apply in the development of, say, pediatric conditions, one of your online courses that I'm teaching next semester, we will. Not to mention kind of feedback on whether our individual teaching and instruction methods and styles, whether it be me, Katie, or Lois for our courses, we really look at that too and make adjustments to our individual styles based on student feedback and themes that come out from your input. So please take the time to do those course evaluations. And lastly, if you have not done so already, please upload your book club presentation, PowerPoint, and handout to Blackboard so that your peers have the benefit of that when they are completing their take-home finals. So you go under student presentations, there, student book club presentations, and then 2 of you have uploaded the PowerPoint. There's still a third group that needs to upload their PowerPoint. I believe everyone needs to upload their handout too. So you go to create thread, just because their handout will be a nice resource for the future too. And you can put in, what your topic was, email communication, and then browse your computer to attach. You can attach a PowerPoint, your PowerPoint, like that. And then you should be able to, you can put the name, or you can rename it. So you can put on there that this is the PowerPoint. And if it doesn't let you, I don't think this one lets you submit more than one file at the same time. So then you would click submit. Oh, I have to put a title in. So this is, yeah, see, it didn't let me, I didn't put a title in. So what you would do is put the title in, browse your computer, upload, put in the description or the title that this is your PowerPoint. And then what you can do is create another thread and then upload and say, this is our handout for your topic. So that like sorry, it doesn't like it when it's in this screencast. So that like for emailing as a professional, you have the PowerPoint and then create another thread and title it emailing in the professional world, a handout. Same speed reading people, put that as PowerPoint, change the name, put it as your PowerPoint, and then create another thread for a handout. Again, so that they have the benefit of that for the final exam, but also it'll just be nice to like print out those handouts as resources for yourself as you go forward for reference for new skills. All right, thank you and have a great day.